The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
You don't need to live with aches and pains. Visit relieffactor.com today.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday.
Look, gas prices are not up. They're down. Below $4 a gallon nationally. Oil's trading at $71 a barrel. Yeah. We don't run the gas price tracker on the screen anymore for a reason, you know? I mean, it's because it's a non-story.
Yeah.
The pool was vandalized.
Yeah, it was.
You keep bringing up the pool. It was vandalized by people who were so broken-brained about our politics, they went out there and vandalized the pool. It's in the court documents, which you can read yourself today. And as it relates to cost, the Republicans cut taxes. Working people all over this country got major tax refunds.
It's true.
We have a booming job market.
Yeah, we do.
We have a stock market that's up.
Oh, my God.
Right now, we have an economy that's on the upswing because of Republican policies. And we've got insane Democrats winning primaries promising socialism all over this country. Yeah. Those are the facts, and that's the argument that will be carried to the election.
Yeah, you know, before the daycare 3 got elected or at least, got their nominations in New York, I was feeling very good about the midterms. Now I'm really feeling good about the midterms. But the deal is, it's not a gimme. We've got to drive these people out of existence. I don't know if you remember this, but in 2024, I said that this had to be the year we returned to common sense from nonsense. And we did. And all of the things that these morons are espousing are the exact same things we rejected with Kamala Harris, except for now you throw in Islamist anti-Semites, and it makes it even worse. So there you go. There you go. Welcome to the show. Please come inside. Much good news today. Oh, my goodness. Former National Security Advisor John Bolton, the shaggy DA with a bad mustache, he has pled guilty to mishandling classified documents. So there you go. He appeared in Greenbelt, Maryland before Judge Theodore Huang, an appointee of then-President Barack Obama. The 77-year-old admitted a single charge of illegal retention of classified information. The documents he retained included diary entries containing national defense information, blah, 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 blah. He's agreed to pay a $2.25 million fine. That's a big chunk of change there, boy. Reuters says Bolton must make half of that payment within 5 days of sentencing and the full payment within 90 days of sentencing. Bolton could face up to 5 years behind bars, though the plea deal may help him avoid prison time. So there goes a little more good news there. A little more good news. And here's the other good news. The Democrat Party is in a civil war. Going into the midterms, the Democrat Party is in its own civil war.
According to this new report from Axios, a bunch of centrist House Democrats are, quote, preparing for war if the new...
It'd be like a slap and tickle fight. I mean, if it's a Democrat, they go, stop it. I'm not going to let you go communist. Well, I'm just going to be anti-Semitic. It's going to be a slap and tickle fight.
8 of far-left members who just won...
James Tallarico might get in there, maybe scratch or something, just scratch.
...their Democratic primaries ultimately end up joining their ranks in Congress and try to hijack the House floor to extract ideological concessions. 13 House Democratic members and candidates signed on to a Promise to America initiative. They're pledging to stay true to centrist principles, including...
Yeah, well, the Democrat Party hasn't been centrist in a very long time. They drove the party in this direction, and the Daycare 3 and these other morons around the country have managed to use money from George Soros and others to get very small numbers of very highly motivated voters to vote them in, okay? This is not a national movement by any means. But the Democrat Party to claim that they're somehow centrist all of a sudden is utterly ridiculous.
Capitalism over socialism, fiscal discipline, strong borders, and...
The Democrat Party is for fiscal discipline and strong borders. Oh, my God, that's fantastic.
...pride in the United States. Among them, current House Reps Tom Suozzi, Adam Gray, Laura Gillen, Don Davis.
None of the people you've ever even heard of.
Kristen McDonald-Rivet.
I'm not hearing Adam Schiff in here or anything.
Josh Gottheimer, Maggie Goodlander, Janelle Bynum, Vicente Gonzalez, and Susie Lee.
I guess these are suddenly the reasonable centrist Democrats that nobody has heard anything about, I don't know, in about a decade.
One of these lawmakers told Axios, quote, "There's going to be war," calling the incoming leftist members bomb throwers, not problem solvers.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And Hakeem Jeffries has done a terrible job with the party. And they have been massively left of center, open border, overspending, government control, pro-censorship, all of this, as left can be. And the only thing further left is socialist anti-Semite, which essentially is Nazi. And that's what happened in New York. Yeah, that's exactly what happened in New York. Islamist, socialist, anti-Semite. They all add up to 2026's version of the German Socialist Workers' Party. There you go. Here's the President of the United States talking about the insane Democrats.
The endorsement of Zohran Mamdani means more than the endorsement of Hakeem Jeffries.
Well, they're going radical left. They're going really, you talk about the Democrat socialists. It's really communist. That's these people. I watched that woman last night. That's not a socialist. I know.
They're calling for the destruction of Western civilization. They're talking about a communist takeover of the country, which ain't gonna happen because we got this thing called the Constitution, and we've been for 250 years finding communism and stamping it out. So it ain't going to fly here.
That woman is a communist.
Yep.
And you know what they don't say is that I was 16-0 last night.
Yeah.
But mine were a little more boring, a little more mainstream.
Yeah.
They were Republican conservatives.
Yeah.
But we were 16-0.
Yeah.
And if you look over the last 2.5 years, we're about 347 and just about 0.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I know.
But nobody writes that.
Ask Thomas Massey.
But he picked 3.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
They won. They beat a guy named Dan Goldman, who's, a loser.
Yeah,
he was one of my prosecutors, one of my many prosecutors that they used on me. Dan Goldman, not a good prosecutor, fortunately.
Yeah, the 5 political persecutions.
But he's now looking for a job.
Bye, Danny boy.
I was very surprised
Bye,
to
Danny
see,
boy.
Because he's a pretty liberal guy. When they go more liberal than Dan Goldman, they're really into Never Land.
Yeah, they are a Never Land. Absolutely. Absolutely bananas. This is your Democrat Party.
Build in new revenue, like legalizing weed, taxing the billionaires, making there be an additional millionaire tax so that we're seeing revenue that often goes out of our community.
She likes to speak very slow, like she's talking to kindergartens, which is actually what they need to do because they're electing children.
And into corporations and the ultra-wealthy actually come back so that we have investments in community.
There's also a trans Bill of Rights. We have to be so forceful and clear and aggressive.
Yeah, we all voted this out in 2024.
In our protection and our advocacy for the trans community, especially
nobody cares about that anymore.
For trans kids. We abolish
trans kids. Yeah, we're against that.
This is an agency that started in 2003. We had immigration enforcement before ICE existed. We'll have it after it exists. But the thing that I don't think we talk enough about is also what that reform is going to look like. Abolishing ICE is just one step. There has to be an immediate pathway for every single undocumented immigrant that's here in this country today.
Yeah, see, we've got to kick their rear ends up between their shoulders coming up. And they have made a very, very serious miscalculation if they think the American people want to do a rehash of what we went through in 2024. It'll get beat by even more. It'll get beaten by even more. Other good news this week: Donald Trump had a bunch of Supreme Court victories. Yeah, if you're here for a temporary protection status in the country, it's temporary. So after that's done, you got to leave the country. So bad news for a lot of Haitians and a lot of Syrians, among others. And then also, if you come to the border and just demand you come in and get asylum, no, not so much. Nope, not so much. Let's see the Second Amendment victory, too.
Thank you for being our friends.
Jim Gossett is the president.
Illegal immigration must end. The Supreme Court ruled, and they handed us victories.
That was a pretty big week. Pretty awesome.
The nation's highest court has made it easier to deport. The left is mad because they didn't get their way. Even Justice Roberts and Amy Barrett were on Bullhorn.
I know.
6-2-3, big wins for me. And And I would like to say thank you for being our I want to thank you. JD wants to thank you.
Yeah, he does.
Our country wants to thank you for being our friends.
There you go. This is why they want to pack the Supreme Court. Because they hate the Constitution and they hate the fact that this court, at least 6 of them, are not political. They adhere to the Constitution. That's why the Democrats want to do that. We got a lot of stuff on the show, of course. Bottom of the hour, going to be talking to Tony Kinnett from the Daily Signal. I want to talk about Caitlyn Clark and the WNBA is digging its own grave, among other things. And the number here is 800-922-6680. This is a Friday edition of the Rob Carson Show.
The Rob Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to newsmax.com/listen for details.
Well, no, and it's sad. I said this earlier today that, the once great party of FDR and JFK is now anti-Israel, anti-Semitic, and pro-communist, pro-socialism, and that is frightening. Here's how bad it is, Charlie. Dan Goldman, the impeachment lawyer that Adam Schiff brought in when he went after President Trump 6.5 years ago, he wasn't good enough for the radical left. And a lot of people are talking about how this could benefit our party. I look at it in a broader way, and you said this earlier. I think this is bad for the country. That, again, a great political party is now socialist, radical, anti-Semitic, anti-Israel. That is not good. And we need to make sure, frankly, that in our party, none of that anti-Semitism, anti-Israel stuff creeps into our party. I think that's really...
It's not going to. It's not going to, Jim. Nope, not going to happen. It's I'm trying to remember when the Democrat Party was great, to be honest. They were the party of slavery, the party of Jim Crow. FDR came in and basically kept us in the Great Depression. The only thing that got us out of the Great Depression technically was World War II. I guess John F. Kennedy Jr., or John F. Kennedy, I should say, was probably a pretty good president. Lyndon B. Johnson was terrible. He ushered in the Great Society, which destroyed the black family and created aid for dependent children and ruined the country to some degree, particularly Americans' inner cities. And then since then, pretty much has been a bleep show, the Democrat Party. Pretty much a bleep show. I guess Bill Clinton was okay. He was more of a centrist, I suppose. He had to come to the table when he lost the midterms in his first term. He had to forget socialized medicine and then work with Newt Gingrich to balance the budget in 1994. But then Barack Obama took the party wicked left, and then the GDP growth for 8 years was about 1%. So we succeeded despite his presidency, not because of his presidency. So I'm deciding, when exactly was the Democrat Party really great? They certainly haven't been very good in the last, 20 years. Because if you're a Democrat, you have not had a choice for president since 2008. So there you go. Here is Jim Jordan echoing what I did in 2024, which is it's a matter of crazy versus common sense.
We're the party of common sense. I think this is the key distinction in this upcoming midterm election. We got to talk about our common sense solutions. We got to talk about how they're the party of crazy. Common sense versus crazy, as the president said. That's the key, I think, difference in this election and what we got to go tell the voters about. Up to November.
Yeah, it's as I said, return to common sense from nonsense in 2024. That was the expression that I used frequently, and they've gone even more bananas. That's the thing. They've gone even more bananas. Like they couldn't go further left. And the Democrat Party has been insane for a very long time. Now it's just bordering on 1933 Germany. I'm not screwing around. That's the way it is. That's just the way it is. You've got anti-Semitic candidates who are genuine communists who hate America, hate the Jews, hate Israel. I mean, they're not going to rule us. That's it. There's got about 100 million of us who are well armed intellectually and physically, and then a U.S. military who ain't going to be down with that either. So we shall see. I want to mention something real quick, a little something personal. I shared my bed with a female for the first time last week. It's been a very long time. I shared my ghost bed with a female. Her name is Desi. She's an 11-pound Shih Tzu. But she loves the ghost bed. My daughter brought technically my dog, my mom's dog, and my mom gave Desi to me, and then Desi was hijacked by my daughter. That said, my daughter's staying with me, and Desi's staying with me, and she likes to do the little booty scratch and get under the covers and everything, except for with the ghost bed, she doesn't want to get out of the bed. Normally, she just wants to jump off the bed. She stays in the bed. In the morning, I got to pick her up out of the bed, put her on the floor to take her outside. So even Desi loves my ghost bed. I'm going to tell you something right now. The best dang night of sleep I've ever had in my life. It is absolutely glorious. Absolutely glorious. Everybody who sat on the bed, and there haven't been very many, has said, wow, this is really cool. This is really, really, really cool. GhostBed is offering my audience an extra 10% off, by the way. 10% off, but you got to go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use promo code Carson. Cooling tech built into every mattress. It's spectacular. Now during the summer, I mean, it stays cool. I keep the covers on. Don't need to throw them off in the middle of the night. Helps you keep cool all night and keeps you warm in the winter. Ghostbed.com/Carson. Ghostbed.com/Carson. It is, I'm telling you guys, it's the best dang mattress ever. I've had expensive ones. Remember mattress and box springs? Remember moving those in and out of apartments? This is terrible. It's terrible. I spent a lot more for a mattress, under $2,000. This glorious queen size bed, I just put a regular base on it, and it's, oh my God. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. James Carville, who's just been a spewing, seething cauldron of hate lately. I mean, literally just this vile, just awful old man sitting on his porch saying, get off my lawn, talking about how much he hates Donald Trump. He's really broken, just a broken individual. Now he is admitting that his party, James Carville, by the way, he said when Barack Obama was the president, he wrote a book about the Democrats being in power for 40 years. And he wrote it right before the midterms in Barack Obama's second term. And then Barack Obama summarily lost both houses. So James' prediction was, worthless, by the way, and he's wrong most of the time. That said, here he is talking about the schism. There's a schism in the Democrat Party.
I actually do think it's time for Democrats to talk the S word, schism.
Schism.
I really do. Everybody's always said, no, we're a coalition, we're a big tent. And there's just some I can't be in the same tent with. Maybe there's a way that you can say to, I guess Mandami is the leader of it. It is, you insist that.
No, you guys are going to be pushed out, bro. You got to know that. You're going to be pushed out. They're using the Democrat Party to take over, to get people to support them, and then you're done.
Try to insist that the people that run under your banner run as a Democratic Socialist and don't use the Democratic Party as your guideline, and let's negotiate the terms of a schism here. Maybe we can part under some kind of advantageous terms for both of us. But I'm done. I'm not.
They are not. They are not going to coexist with you. You guys made a deal with the devil, man. You made a deal with the devil. They're going to shove you right the hell out. They're using the Democrat Party moniker to become a national movement, and then you're toast. You're done. They're going to use you. They're going to use you. Here is Elizabeth Pipko talking about the Dems and socialism.
It certainly is, and I think more so it's a creation, right, made by these very Democrats. They say, live by the sword, die by the sword. That's exactly what they've done. And I heard someone the other day describing it as establishment Democrats kind of being backed into a corner by this far left faction of the Democrat Party. It is not being backed into a corner. They're being held hostage by individuals who despise our country, who despise our allies, who want to change up everything that we know and love about the United States of America. The other day I spoke to a friend and I said, on the Republican side, we toss out anti-Semites. On the Democrat side, they invite them in. Now, even worse, they vote them in to higher office. It is incredibly embarrassing. But again, they did this to themselves, and they deserve all of it.
Yeah, and the adults in America, like you and I, you and me, regardless of race, patriotic Americans who believe in the founding, aren't going to be ruled by communist children. We will spank you. We will rid the country of you. There you go. Tony Kinnett, Daily Signal, joins us next. Don't go anywhere.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. In a world of espionage, truth is a moving target, and every decision carries a dangerous consequence. This new mission explores what it means to live as a double agent, twice the lies, twice the risk. The lines between ally and enemy blur like never before, and survival depends on trusting no one. Starring Michael Fassbender, Jeffrey Wright, Jodie Turner-Smith, and Richard Gere. Don't miss The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus.
I always accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative. With me, there is no in between. State of the Union scored, approval rate how it has soared. Democrats cannot afford to take me for granted anymore. Inflation's low, employment's high. The Dow Jones, it is headed for the sky. Borders secure, illegals aren't jetting in. That's why I accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative. With me, there is no in between.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson for Ghost Bed. I love my Ghost Bed. Do you really want another summer like last summer, barely sleeping because you were too hot all night? People blame summer heat for bad sleep when it really may be their mattress trapping heat. And if you're already sleep hot, summer only makes it worse. That's exactly why I switched to Ghost Bed. Ghost Bed keeps you cool all night. No waking up sweaty, tossing and turning, or throwing the covers off at 2 a.m. Cooling tech is built into every mattress. It's not some expensive upgrade you have to pay extra for. Hot sleepers are some of Ghost Bed's happiest customers. Read the reviews. Incredible support, less stiffness, deeper sleep, more rested mornings. Ghost Bed gives you 101 nights to try it at home. You can sleep on it all summer long and feel the difference yourself. How many more summers are you going to waste on bad sleep? Ghost Bed is offering my audience an extra 10% off. With financing, some Ghost Beds come out to around $1 a day. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use the promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson. Promo code Carson.
Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily Podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
The agency. For 250 years, Americans have believed in one powerful idea, that we were meant to live free. Free to work hard, free to move, free to enjoy life without being held back. But if everyday aches and pains are slowing you down, might be time to declare your independence from pain. I take Relief Factor. There's a reason why at my age I'm able to crush it at the gym and ride 30 miles on a mountain bike on Saturday mornings. Relief Factor. It's 100% drug-free, research-based formula designed to help your body fight inflammation, one of the root causes of pain. It's not a quick fix or a temporary mask. It works from inside out at the source. Relief Factor was created so people could get back to living life on their terms, walking, working, exercising, enjoying the moments that matter. This year, as we celebrate 250 years of American independence, take a stand for your own freedom. To commemorate, they're offering a special patriotic price, just $17.76. Yeah, your $17.76 3-week quick start is ready for you. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4-RELIEF. ReliefFactor.com or 800-4-RELIEF.
Now back to the Rob Carson Show, presented by Paramount Plus.
Friday. Come on.
Caitlyn to the ground, and ooh, that's a hand to the neck, and then Alyssa Thomas. Caitlyn to the ground, and ooh, that's a hand to the neck, and then Alyssa Thomas steps over.
Yeah, the WNBA continues to self-immolate, ladies and gentlemen. Joining us to talk about this and other stuff, too, one of our favorite guests, one of the unusual suspects we have on Friday, the one and only Tony Kinnett from the Daily Signal. Hello, my friend. How are you?
Always good to be with you, my dude. Always good to be with you. And not at WNBA games.
Oh, my God. What the hell? You know, I saw not only did this happen, this a physical assault which should result in criminal charges against Caitlyn Clark. The WNBA has decided to only hit this other woman with a 1-game suspension after punching Caitlyn Clark in the throat, for God's sake.
While she was on the ground, by the way.
Yeah.
Not as though, we're on the court and, for example, I'm wildly bad at I'm wildly bad at playing basketball, though I love watching it.
Yeah.
But if you're just flailing around because you have no idea what you're doing and, hey, the hand connects with the neck, that's not great.
Yeah.
But also, it's not, but when she's on the ground, it's disgusting. The WNBA continues to show the entire world that ghetto trash as a sporting event does in fact reflect even more poorly on the women. So
they're catty. They are exposing the worst sides of, I would say femininity, but not so much with the WNBA.
Well, hang on here. If you really want to see the fun side of feminine athletics,
yes.
I recommend volleyball. Again, as a former volleyball player, that's half of the reason I was on the court, is the ladies' court was right next to it.
Well, yes.
And number two, though, if you want to see ladies fight, and you said as the more feminine side, or as I'd say, if you want to see the curvier, better-looking women fight it out, roller derby, man.
Roller derby, hell yeah. Or just, the WWF females,
Listen, that's true.
You got to do something after being an exotic dancer, Tony.
I don't know, man. I'd rather see the hourglass figure on roller skates. Come on, man. Is that appropriate? No, don't care.
What would have happened if Alyssa would have put her knee on Caitlyn's neck and Caitlyn died of a fentanyl overdose? What do you suppose would have happened then?
A statue in Minneapolis if only Caitlyn Clark were black. Missed opportunity.
And then listen, fans can't believe the WNBA excluded Caitlyn Clark from their 30th anniversary poster. Now, here are some of the other people on the poster. Aija Wilson, Brianna Stewart, Nafise Collier, Kelsey Plum, Angel Reese, Nkinde Ogwabada, Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie, Becky Hammond. What do these women have in common? Nobody's heard of any of them.
It reminds me I can't remember which comedian that it was, but one of the ones who people find very offensive.
Yes.
At one of the Academy Award shows.
Yes.
Said, and also my friend, Jill McStance over here, this evening she plays for the WNBA, and then all of the Hollywood people start clapping, yes, we must support the WNBA. And then he followed that up with, actually, I'm lying, that she's my wife's sister. None of you have any idea who anyone in the WNBA is because the league sucks.
It is.
It
is just unbelievable, and I just can't believe that the WNBA, considering the amount of interest that Caitlyn Clark has generated, is allowing this to happen. She won the WNBA Rookie of the Year 2024, setting a single-season assist record of 337, set WNBA rookie record 769 points, 122 three-pointers, and they're doing this to her. Honestly, bleep the WNBA at this point. Honestly, you had your chance at relativity, and you've decided to be a catty little B-word, and honestly, to heck with you. To heck with your 30th anniversary poster. It is utterly ridiculous that a female sport that finally gets a little bit of relevance shows how absolutely awful the members of that league are, and the managers, I might add.
Entitlement is one heck of a drug, and we see this in the broadcasting sphere as well. By the way, you have you have individuals who get a little bit of fame and they get very, very high on their own supply very quickly.
Yes,
and then they get very outraged when people do not treat them as someone with talent, with skill, and with expertise. And then they kind of do what Bill Cassidy does over in the Senate. He just kind of throws his toys. He does a little temper tantrum. That's what you're seeing from the WNBA right now. It's this cultural problem that I guess we're just going to keep on doing. It's something to behold.
It'd be like if for instance, maybe the NFL excluded Patrick Mahomes but included Tim Tebow in the calendar of the poster.
Yes, quite on point, my man.
Oh my God! So, what do you think about this? The daycare 3 being elected in New York, and this leftward lurch of the Democrat Party into let me see, what do they call it when socialists become anti-Semites? What the hell is that? There's a word for it. It rhymes with Yahtzee or something. I don't know what it
Yeah, interesting. So my hottest take on this one
Yes.
is I see a lot of people saying that it's no big deal and a lot of people saying that it is a big deal.
Yes.
Here is my honest-to-God take.
Yes, sir.
If you say you are an open communist, I think that the U.S. government should give you a free helicopter ride.
Yes.
I don't care. But U.S. citizens should have the right. No, shut up. You're an open communist, a declared enemy against the DSA and the CUAD that one of the Nicole Alvarez or whatever her name is, one of the candidates in that particular, now the nominee.
Yes.
The organization's open intent, as they declare, is to spread violence to dismantle the United States.
Yeah.
That is illegal.
Yes.
And it was illegal before Joe McCarthy did his whole, it was before the McCarthy era.
Yep.
So beside all of that, I'm sorry, either kicked out of the country or a blindfold and a cigarette. Tony, that's really the intent. No, I have been in the parts of the world where I have seen exactly what this does to countries. I've seen what it does to children and to people. And what I'm saying is remarkably tame compared to what Cuban immigrants and Chinese immigrants to this country are saying about these individuals.
Now, I don't know what I've heard some people postulating the possibility of not seating them should they be elected, not seating them in Congress because of their leanings. I'm not sure how that happens, but clearly we have to eliminate this. This cannot exist in our country. They cannot. We are a representative republic. We are based on the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And by God in heaven, we have sacrificed our blood and treasure on foreign shores preventing this nonsense. I, for one, and I think about 100 million others of us at least, are not going to let this SH stand.
Well, but that's also the thing there, because the other side, again, as I've said this before, you had Schumer and you had Pelosi acting all shocked when the AOC crew stabbed them in the back.
Yep.
And, I'm so shocked that they learned exactly what I did. And then you have that crew, the Hakeem Jeffries side, now being shocked that he's getting stabbed in the back by this crew.
Yeah.
And all I can say, I'll say this, that the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and that federal law are not suicide pacts.
Yes.
You do not have to stand there if your neighbor screams for your head, for blood, and says that in the name of Allah, and then suggests through the Islamic prayer, as they do at that mosque in New York, that you need to be decapitated and killed. That's not freedom of religion.
Nope.
I'm sorry.
Nope.
There is no,
Nope.
well, Ben Franklin said in 1782 that, no. You don't have to sit there and be told that you and your family are going to be raped and then killed.
Yeah, we do not. We are not going to allow seditious, treasonous types to rule us. That is just not going to happen.
Because that's what they are. Very well put, Rod.
100%. And this Chevalier, they're children. First of all, they're brainless little children who Chevalier's been in college for 12 friggin' years. I'm
so glad you mentioned that.
Yeah.
You know Kurt Schlichter from townhall.com.
Yes.
Brilliant writer, brilliant lawyer. So he has this book series called.
Can you hold? Hey, hold on. Can you hold on to that because we're going a little long here? I want you to hold that thought.
Absolutely.
Can you hold that thought because I don't want to interrupt you mid thought. We will come back more on this with the great Tony Kinnett. Daily Signal, by the way, on X at the Tonus, by the way, TONUS. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
build in new revenue, like legalizing weed, taxing the billionaires, making there be an additional millionaire tax so that we're seeing revenue that often goes out of our communities and into corporations and the ultra wealthy actually come back so that we have investments in community.
There's also a trans bill of rights. We have to be so forceful and clear and aggressive in our protection and our advocacy for the trans community.
This is what happens when children get elected who have not achieved anything in their lives. They demand a lot of stuff. They stomp around. They say, you're going to pay this and you're going to pay that. And we say, bleep you, we'll just frickin' leave. We'll just leave. And they think they have the wind at their backs because fewer than 100,000 people voted these three nutbags to become representatives in Congress. I don't think it's going to work. But back to your point, Tony Kinnett of the Daily Signal, we're talking about this. Go ahead and complete your thought.
So that Chevalier, the retarded version of Chevrolet, that young lady, she's a permanent student, right? It's taken her like 7, 8, 9 years to finish her doctoral, which she still hasn't finished. No. And what's curious to me here, Kurt Schlichter from townhall.com, brilliant author, has this series called the Kelly Turnbull series. It's a spy series, thriller about like a post-apocalyptic America. Yep. And I'm not joking. He literally wrote characters who are just this. Like the main villain of the story involves this like socialist permanent student who just believes that because she's in college, the world owes her things. I know. And they taught her that she's I'm going to be a doctor of like sociology, so give me your money and all of you are my slaves.
Yeah. I like to say you are not in the position to demand anything. And I've been saying for a number of years these children need a spanking. And they can demand all they want. But, and listen, I do believe this needs to be taken seriously. I do believe we need to turn out in mass. We saw yesterday Harry Antonetta a poll that showed that socialism has not gained any popularity in the last decade or so. But at the same time, we know how they get things done: low turnout, and then sneak in this fashion.
Well, but again, also a big part of this, and a lot of people are like, what we need to do is we need to go win the youth. And I hear this often, and I'm told, the 18 to 25 demo is so important. No, it's not. The idea that you're going to make children less stupid is, I don't think, the way to go here. The real answer is, first of all, you have to be delivering for the adults. Yes. Number two, you need to encourage family values and religion. Yes. And then last but certainly not least, that whenever you have one of these idiots who openly calls for this, you get them out of the country. Stop pretending that openly calling for violent, murderous revolution is some kind of special First Amendment privilege. It never has been.
No. You're right.
And it shouldn't be.
Absolutely, 100%. Moving on, I want to play my favorite soundbite of the week that somehow disappeared into the ether. This is Graham Plattner admitting that he's been treated for STDs at Planned Parenthood.
Part of that, as many of you know, is that I firmly believe in a universal health care system.
Yeah, of course you do.
I believe in it because I have, in many ways, received it with my VA benefits. Sure. But I will also say that many of my female friends and my wife, throughout their lives, have received some form of that same kind of support from Planned Parenthood.
And what's the one thing that people go to Planned Parenthood for, pretty much? Yeah.
I have friends who even today get primary care through Planned Parenthood.
No, they don't.
I myself, at a younger age, received what's the word? I get STI checks.
Yeah, he said treat, and then he... This is the guy with the kick profile admitting that he goes to Planned Parenthood to get his STDs treated. Oh, my God.
Like many of you, I consistently get the clap. Hi, Graham Plattner. You don't want to shake my hand? I mean, so I actually have a very special bone to pick, a disease-free, by the way, bone to pick with this particular issue. No pun intended there.
Yes.
Goodness. Yeah. On regard to this, I have a lot of individuals, a lot of friends who have helped me participate in a study on what does Planned Parenthood actually do. If you show up and you don't get an abortion, you want some of this pre-screening,
healthcare,
cancer screening, that kind of thing.
Yes.
And they treat you like cattle.
Do they?
Seriously, and there were about 8 different Planned Parenthoods that we looked at here, and we had some like hidden cameras and microphone stuff This is before the GoPros were really more prominent.
Yeah.
But essentially, they treated the women who went in like cattle. They were very rude, mean.
Yep.
They were not very kind with the tools that are used to check those things. It's disgusting. They're an evil organization.
Oh, yes, they are. Yeah. And by the way, at Graham Plattner rallies, they say, whatever you say, don't say clap for Graham Plattner because he's already had it. It's just don't do that. Hey, hey,
so much better than mine.
Hey. All right, so you're on every night, man. Tell everybody about your show tonight.
Well, like Graham Plattner, we have the gift that keeps on giving, but for us, it's our audience. And it's at 7 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/Daily Signal or across the radio TV network. Thanks a ton.
All right, brother. Have a glorious weekend. Great to talk to you. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Oh, my God. Don't clap for Graham Plattner. He's already had it. Oh, my God. So funny. Hello, everybody. How you doing? You know, are you sure he's an oyster man? I'm thinking he's a crab man. I'm going to mention that, Tony. I got to say this to Tony real quick. Pardon me, guys. Tony, are you sure that Graham Plattner is a oyster man, ? I think he's more of a crab man, period. I think he's caught more of them. Oh, here we go. Socialism is for thieves. Yeah, hold on. Oh, I got to grab a soundbite real quick. I have, load my own audio, and there's one that I want to include today. There it is. Socialism is envy. I'll get that in 1 second. Anyway, how you guys doing today? How you doing, Deplorable Dinosaur and Shelby Inslee? What's going on? Plattner is a dark and evil man with no sense of humor, no personality. He's a very dark and evil man. He's the kind of person who would put people in political prisons and not think twice about it. That's just the way you can just tell. You can just tell. Anyway, let's go over here to Facebook. Let's see if I can load Facebook here real quick. Thanks for watching on all of the platforms today. The audience is growing dramatically. There we are. Who's watching over there on Facebook? Let's see. Donna, hello, Donna and Jellyfish Hunter. And Lindsay Marsden and Prane Uperchat. Hello, Debbie Allen. How's things going today? All right, hold on. I got to talk. Let's see if Tony reacted. Here we go.
You got 4 minutes here, Voodoo Chow.
Ooh, come on. Come on. Voodoo Chow. You know, I was thinking about this. Graham Plattner says he's an oyster man, but I'm thinking he's caught more crabs than oysters. I mean, I really do. I'm thinking he's caught crabs a few times. So there, it's just so amazing. What a complete scumbag. My God in heaven. Graham Plattner is the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst. And a despicable human being with no sense of humor. Have you seen him speak? He speaks. He's dark and humorless and dangerous. He's a prison camp guard. I mean, I'm not kidding. That's the kind of person he is. Nothing likable about him. But the Democrat Party thinks he's going to win. I don't think he's going to win. This is God Sad, or whatever the hell you call his name, talking about socialism and what it's based on. And if you listen to any Democrat talk, it's this. The rich have this, the billionaires have this, and we've got to take it. We're not going to earn it. We've got to take it from them because they have it.
The problem, though, is that the allure of socialism is always going to exist as, regrettably, a frailty of the human mind, right? Mm-hmm. Envy is one of the 7 deadly sins. Mm-hmm. And as you might imagine, socialists use our proclivity to be envious of others to say, hey, it's not fair that someone else makes so much money than me.
That's why these idiot academics like this Chevalier, who has been in college since 2014, I'm not sure how long, a full time, whatever, but altogether that's like 2012. So 14 years she's been in college or trying to educate herself, has never earned a friggin' living. You've got Graham Plattner, he lives on disability and has sold $5,000 worth of oysters to his mom. You've got James Talarico, who shares a checking account with his mom and works as a DEI consultant, has never really had a job per se. You've got AOC, she was a bartender. That's about it. But these are spoiled, entitled children who are failures in life, absolute failures in life, and they are demanding to take from those of us who have worked our arses off to get where we are. They want to take what we have.
Let me allow my empathetic overlords to come in and create income equality across all of us, and then hopefully we can all live in the beautiful unicornia. The problem with that, Charlie, is that it is inconsistent with human nature. Yes. Humans are a hierarchical species. Some of us are taller, shorter, harder working, harder working. So to impose an orgiastic form of egalitarianism on a species that is hierarchical is always going to fail. And that's exactly what's happened every time that socialism has been tried around the world.
Yeah, they tried it in Jamestown, Virginia, before the country was founded. They tried socialism. They're gonna grow the crops, so they're gonna put it into a collective, and then they're gonna divide them up. And unfortunately, there are those who sit on their asses, like Chevalier and Graham Plattner and others, and expect the same return. That is socialism. That is socialism. Sorry, we are entrepreneurial. The harder you work, the more you can earn. I've done everything from field and farm work to cleaning out petroleum tanks. I have sold cars for a living, by the way, and I did quite well, by the way. Making like up to $20,000 a month selling cars. But I had to work my butt off, and I didn't have to share commission with somebody who sells one car a month. There you go. There you go. It is Friday. We've got much more on the way, including irrefutable truths that the left is sabotaging the reflecting pool and world record attendance for the World Cup in America. Don't go anywhere.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. In a world of espionage, truth is a moving target, and every decision carries a dangerous consequence. This new mission explores what it means to live as a double agent, twice the lies, twice the risk. The lines between ally and enemy blur like never before, and survival depends on trusting no one. Starring Michael Fassbender, Jeffrey Wright, Jodie Turner-Smith, and Richard Gere. Don't miss The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. the grace of God, it is finally Friday.
There we are. Oh, they've taken it down to 357 at the end. But that is some attendance. Fantastic, really, and I think salute the fans of the USA and those fans who've arrived from all over the world to support this World Cup. It's been quite a sight, like that every game.
I got to tell you, soccer's always been a punchline for me, even when I had to take my kids to soccer practice and soccer games and all that. And I didn't do it very long. Thank you, God. Thank you for your lack of interest in soccer, my children. Oh, thank you. That said, a lot of you soccer parents. I mean, dear Lord. But it's kind of nice to see the welcome that the World Cup has had in America. It is a worldwide phenomenon. I'm still not. I'm not one to watch soccer still. Maybe if it's on and I'm somewhere, maybe I'm at Red Robin with the kids or whatever the hell, and it's on. Okay, we'll watch the World Cup or whatever. And I will. I didn't get a chance to watch the game against Turkey. I guess it was a meaningless game yesterday. The U.S. lost to Turkey yesterday, but nothing that would affect their performance in the tournament as far as being able to move up. I don't understand the rules, to be quite honest. I would imagine that being a fantasy soccer would be a lot more difficult than fantasy football. You'd need AI to do it. That said, the world record has been set for attendance at a World Cup, 3,605,357, an all-time world record. People coming to the United States are absolutely loving the country, despite so many on the left who hate our country, including the Daycare 3 who were elected in New York City. That's the ultimate kind of thing. And it's funny, and it's kind of poetic justice that these idiots would win in the 250th year of our birth, and a time when the rest of the world is in our country, seeing how amazing our country is. And you cannot base a political movement on envy, hate, and anti-Semitism. It will not win. It will not win. The positive is it's destroying the pathetic, awful Democrat Party. There you go. I think that's a good summation, wouldn't you? Yeah. So the Democrats and the left won't even accept that Donald Trump has made Washington, D.C. beautiful. And I get these idiots online who'll put up a picture of the algae that no longer exists in the reflecting pool and say, this is a metaphor for Donald Trump. No, it's not at all. The rest of the city is absolutely beautiful. And then I always put up pictures that I've taken. And I said, you don't live here, so how about shut up? But they hate and envy so much. They hate Donald Trump. They hate his followers that they are willing to, now we know, vandalize a sacred place, which is the reflecting pool, where Martin Luther King Jr. gave his I Have a Dream speech. A liner along the bottom of the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool was cut with a sharp knife or razor this month, causing damage to the foam sealant installed as part of the $16 million rehab project, according to a top official at the National Park Service. The U.S. Park Police responded June 9th to a complaint by the Park Service, said Frank Lands, Deputy Director of Operations for the Park Service. Lands made the statement in a court document filed last Wednesday, part of a lawsuit filed by a nonprofit organization to halt the Trump administration's work on the project. The police report indicates damage to the pool, including a caulk over the foam sealant that was cut with a sharp knife or razor, and destruction of delaminating surface material, and also about 70 fence post tops thrown into the water. This is your Democrat Party. This is the left. It is the Democrat Party. There's no separating them, because the Democrat Party is based on nothing but being the antithesis and hating Donald Trump and having severe TDS. The vandalism under investigation was believed to be isolated so as not to encourage deranged individuals. We did not announce that we hoped it to be an isolated incident. Around the same time, Park Service discovered another incident where fencing from the pool was forcibly removed and thrown into the pool. Recurring cases and videos of people ripping at the coating began to circulate. We then knew this was not an isolated incident, but a new trend to attempt to damage damage the reflecting pool. How dare you, awful, petulant, little frickin' children. And then Whoopi Goldberg goes on the other day on the Harpies from Hell, The View. Sorry, The View. They sound so much alike. And makes fun of Donald Trump and makes fun of the allegations that people had been sabotaging and damaging the reflecting pool when it was true. She will not deliver an apology because she's an awful, 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 awful human being. So there you go. There is that. Back to the World Cup, though. Really, really cool things. The world is beginning to love America and realize that they've been absolutely wrong about America, been lied to by their governments, by their media about how terrible America is. And it does turn out that despite the daycare 3 in New York, America is the greatest country. And there's no doubt about it. America is the greatest country on the face of the earth.
I'm in awe of the United States of America. I'm in America. When they say everything in America is big, I understand it. Why the hell is this quesadilla the size of my head? And I've got 3 of them.
Americans, you are so lucky.
There's a British kid trying to use a knife and fork on ribs, and the owner of the restaurant saying, nah.
And you take your fingers and you lift that up and you eat it. Okay, not with a fork.
Nothing comes close to the USA.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A for the first time as a family.
Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A. Biscuits and gravy.
So good. Dang.
So good. So good.
A woman walking alone with fancy handbags, jewelry on, glasses on. They're not being harassed, nothing. If they were South Africa, gosh, first of all, I wouldn't be able to walk through this bloomin' park by myself.
Everything just big, ginormous, extra large.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I love watching these Brits, and from other places as well, try biscuits and gravy for the first time, or try ribs. These are things that we take for granted. The other day I mentioned there was this British woman. She came out of an Olive Garden. She had fettuccine Alfredo, and she said it's the best thing she's eaten in her life. Now, nothing against Olive Garden fettuccine Alfredo, but if that's the best thing you've eaten in your life, oh boy. Great Britain, not known for its cuisine. They do have spotted dick. Have you ever had that before? I'm not talking to you, Graham Plattner. I'm talking about it's like this bread with raisins in it. It's not good. And neither is the blood pudding. It's all yuck. That's why the official cuisine of England is curry. It is just amazing. Here is Donald Trump, and then a little story from CBS, because these Texas ranchers decided to invite some people coming in for FIFA to spend 2 days on the ranch and go mudding in 4-wheel drives and ride horses.
You know, they came to the United States, which isn't a big, as they would say, football, but we can't because it's too confusing. We say soccer. This is the biggest they've ever had. They've never had anything like it. The numbers are bigger than any other, and it's great spirit.
Four-wheeling through the muck of South Central Texas.
I know.
Drew Haas invited 2 couples from Poland and France to his 30-acre spread for a 2-day taste of Texas.
Hell yeah.
I want to show them my Texas and get them to experience that because I wanted to open the world up to my home. My soul's been lit on fire.
Yeah.
Your soul's been lit on fire?
Been lit on fire just seeing all these people enjoy themselves here.
Absolutely 100%. 100%. I told you, the Democrat Party is doing a death spiral into hell. And they accelerated it this week. They accelerated it, and now they're in the middle of a civil war. The Democrat Party is in the middle of a civil war going into the midterms, where Donald Trump's, by the way, his approval is back up to 48. So matching a high, you've got the price of oil, $70 a barrel, and the price of gas below $4. The economy roaring back. The 250th anniversary of our country. We've got a petulant and awful Democrat Party not celebrating the 250th anniversary of the United States. You've got the World Cup in town, the world discovering how glorious and wonderful America is, and all the Democrat Party has is vandalism and communism and anti-Semitism. Here is our president earlier this week.
This is our heritage. This is our history. And this is the destiny of America, to be the greatest, most incredible country ever to grace the earth. We are one people, one nation, marching into one magnificent future under our great American flag that we love and respect so much.
I've been sitting on this little piece that I've been wanting to play for you. an inspirational piece about America.
Before we enter the arena, we face a moment of truth. When we ask ourselves, do I dare take this step?
Overwhelm the left with faith, patriotism, and joy.
This question tests the courage of our convictions. The answer can change the course of history. Generations of Americans have made the choice to confront fear, to make the walk. To march forward into battle for our country. To march in the streets for a noble cause.
We don't need to live in darkness anymore.
To take a giant leap of faith.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Into a new frontier. To walk the path of the free, we follow in the footsteps of the brave.
Yes.
Putting one foot in front of the other.
We enjoy the blessings.
Until there is no turning back.
They fought for us.
All fights are not the same, but the walk always starts the same way. With a bold first step.
100%. That was put together for UFC 250, which ended up being one of the greatest sporting events of all time, one of the most widely viewed sporting events of all time. Should tell you everything you need to know about how much people love our country and what has gone before us to get where we are today. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
WCBM.
Yeah, but rejoin.
One thing I would like to see updated is the word homeless to the word unhoused.
How about new?
And in another ruling, 632, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the Trump administration that Syrians and Haitians are no longer protected. The president can revoke their protected status and get them the heck out of the country pronto. Here's Miller.
It has never been the case, to go back to the Haiti example, that you can just take 3 million people from a failed island, put them into America, and overnight that they're able to become fully successful, fully assimilated American citizens. That defies everything we know about how culture works, how assimilation works, how nations work.
Yeah.
Justice Clarence Thomas says this, quote, aliens have no equal protection rights against the federal government. The Mondani commies may have won a small battle in Manhattan, but these two court rulings hit like atomic bombs. It seals the border and lets Trump deport millions of illegals. The Republican Party has to go on offense against these communists, but defense wins championships.
100%. And, the Haitians were allowed to live here for 16 years after an earthquake. It did not allow them to become permanent residents. It's temporary protective status, which, of course, means temporary. I don't know if you knew that. That's the first word there. And for those of you who don't understand Democrats, I'm assuming temporary means it doesn't last forever. So there you go. Mike Davis of the Article 3 Project talking about the TPS decision before the Supreme Court. And by the way, they don't have to leave immediately. They'll have the opportunity to plead their case. But it is temporary. You cannot just come here and stay like this forever. You have to sign up. You have to get in line if you want to become a citizen of the United States of America. Otherwise, go back and make your country great. Okay? All you got to do, just do me a favor. Take a copy of the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, back with you, and live by those rules. And if you work real hard, you'll be able to do the same dang thing.
We had an earthquake in Haiti 16 years ago, and we gave temporary protected status to Haitians to come to America until that earthquake got cleaned up and repaired. Yeah. And we had a civil unrest in Syria with the prior leader 2 years after that. So now we've had temporary protected status for 16 years for Haitians and 14 years for Syrians. That doesn't sound temporary anymore. No. And what Justice Alito wrote for the majority opinion in the 6-3 decision is this is for the president and his team to decide whether they give temporary status or not give temporary status.
Yeah, and it is meant to be a favor to some people to come to the United States and live temporarily until they can return to their country of origin. But of course it has been abused, and oddly enough, the people come here to enjoy temporary status and stay here while leaving their families overseas in the other country. Okay, so that's basically saying that they could live there. They just decide to come here for whatever reason, whether that be for good or for evil.
That's that. There's also the issue more Haitians showing up in San Diego during the Obama administration.
Yeah.
And so we had to create a metering system and block these people from actually getting into America where they can claim asylum, these bogus asylum claims.
Yeah.
When they leave their wives and children back home, but the fighting age men show up. That doesn't sound
that kind of weird. I wonder why that is.
Like asylum to me. It sounds like people who are showing up for better opportunity or to cause problems. And so,
like acts of terror or whatever.
What the Supreme Court, again, Justice
or voting Democrats,
Alito wrote is if they get stopped at the border before they get into the United States, they're not in the United States for purposes of our asylum law, so they can't claim asylum from Mexico. Goodbye.
Yeah, 100%. The T in TPS stands for temporary, yet many of these designations became a de facto amnesty, according to James Percival, General Counsel of the DHS. Justice Samuel Alito said the federal law at issue prohibited courts from second-guessing an administration's determination. The text is clear, and its plain meaning is very broad. Here is Stephen Miller being asked about, and I'm sorry, you were born in another country, and your country is a bleep show. Again, all you got to do is look at the example of the United States of America and stop bleeding your most valuable resource, which happens to be humans, into other countries because your country sucks. How about make your country not suck as much?
Does the administration consider Haiti a safe country?
For Haitians, absolutely.
Do you consider Haiti to be a safe country?
For Haitians?
Yes.
Despite the do not travel warnings,
Yes, so yes, Haitians live in Haiti. It's not our position that Haitians should leave Haiti. I mean, it'd be crazy for us to say that Haitians couldn't live in Haiti. It's their country. Of course Haitians should live in Haiti. There's no viable asylum, or use a technical term here, CAT claim, or withholding claim, for any Haitian seeking relief from going back to Haiti, to their homeland. The fact that there might be pockets of Haiti where there's higher crime rates, guess what? There's pockets of Chicago with crime rates just as high, right? There's pockets of cities like St. Louis with crime just as high. Pockets of Los Angeles, crime just as high. It has never been the case that having communities that have high crime rates is a basis for asylum. Never has been, never will be.
Never will be, absolutely 100%. More from Stephen Miller about the number of Haitians here.
Do you expect the administration to deport anyone who loses TPS status as a result of this ruling?
Well, of course, if you no longer have status in this country, then you're supposed to be deported. And in particular, in the case of the Haitians, the Biden administration flew over vast numbers. It's hard to know the exact number, but probably more than 1 million illegal immigrants from Haiti. That's not counting the border crossings into the United States. So these are people who've only been here for a few months, who are receiving welfare, whose all their ties, all their social connections, all their family is back in their home country of Haiti. And of course, that's where they should go.
Yeah, by the way, the court rejected claims that the administration's decision was motivated by anti-black and anti-Haitian prejudice. None of the statements the challengers cited by administrative officials, including the president, was overtly racial, Judge Alito wrote. But, of course, Elena Kagan said it was. Because that's all they have. And when you start saying that things are racist generally, it's showing you have a lack of an argument and you want to end the discussion. She said the statements fairly shout in their racial overtones and overtones alike that race entered into the president's resolve. No, not at all. Temporary protected status is that. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. In a world of espionage, truth is a moving target and every decision carries a dangerous consequence. This new mission explores what it means to live as a double agent, twice the lies, twice the risk. The lines between ally and enemy blur like never before, and survival depends on trusting no one. Starring Michael Fassbender, Jeffrey Wright, Jodie Turner-Smith, and Richard Gere. Don't miss The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Mom Donnie, a socialist. Mom Donnie, a communist. He's a fan of a muss. His win will be New York's loss. He's an extremist, you bet, as New York's gonna get taxed like never before. When Mom Donnie is done, the city will run every grocery store. He'll defund the police and crime will increase as the murder rate begins to soar. Mom Donnie, anti-Jew, he despises Netanyahu. It is really a sin. New Yorkers voted him in. They'll regret that they helped him win.
For 250 years, Americans have believed in one powerful idea, that we were meant to live free. Free to work hard, free to move, free to enjoy life without being held back. But if everyday aches and pains are slowing you down, might be time to declare your independence from pain. I take Relief Factor. There's a reason why at my age I'm able to crush it at the gym and ride 30 miles on a mountain bike on Saturday mornings. Relief Factor. It's 100% drug-free, research-based formula designed to help your body fight inflammation, one of the root causes of pain. It's not a quick fix or a temporary mask. It works from inside out at the source. Relief Factor was created so people could get back to living life on their terms, walking, working, exercising, enjoying the moments that matter. This year, as we celebrate 250 years of American independence, take a stand for your own freedom. To commemorate, they're offering a special patriotic price, just $17.76. Yeah, your $17.76 3-week quick start is ready for you. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4-RELIEF. ReliefFactor.com or 800-4-RELIEF. Hey guys, it's Rob Carson for Ghost Bed. I love my Ghost Bed. Do you really want another summer like last summer, barely sleeping because you were too hot all night? People blame summer heat for bad sleep when it really may be their mattress trapping heat. And if you're already sleep hot, summer only makes it worse. That's exactly why I switched to Ghost Bed. Ghost Bed keeps you cool all night. No waking up sweaty, tossing and turning, or throwing the covers off at 2 a.m. Cooling tech is built into every mattress. It's not some expensive upgrade you have to pay extra for. Hot sleepers are some of Ghost Bed's happiest customers. Read the reviews. Incredible support. Less stiffness, deeper sleep, more rested mornings. Ghost Bed.
Of people, and this decision will place in grave risk the lives of people, and Trump wants to send TPS holders back to unsafe conditions, and it's the far-right extremists sitting...
No, we're not far-right extremists at all. You are far-left extremists, and even further left in New York City.
...on the Supreme Court, who has just let him sever this critical lifeline for Haitians and for TPS holders from all around the world.
Yeah, TPS means temporary protected status, and the earthquake happened 16 years ago. So the earthquake happened 16 years ago. That crisis is over. You're 16 years overdue for going back. That's just the way it is. There's a way to immigrate into our country. You apply for immigration. You do it properly. You don't sneak over a border, and you don't take advantage of temporary protective status. That's it. It sucks. I mean, the world is a cruel place. It is. Sorry you come from a country that sucks. You know, I want people who want to come here and live in this country and love this country and assimilate, unlike a lot of the Somali fraudsters, all of the Somali fraudsters in Minneapolis and Columbus, Ohio, and anywhere in the country. Screw you. Go back to your hellhole. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Ilhan Omar, you can pilot the damn boat. Bye. by utterly ridiculous. This is what we've been waiting for. This is why we elected Donald Trump. Here's Tom Homan talking about what the Biden administration did to us and our country.
Well, look, it's ridiculous because Secretary Muellen's exactly right. They hid their head in the sand for 4 years. We had millions of illegal aliens released in the country illegally, by the way. And over.
Do you remember the enormous frustration we felt as we watched the southern border open, as we watched 20,000 Haitians under a bridge in Texas, as we watched landowners in Texas just find bodies on their property or become victims of crime, or the hundreds of thousands of people who died of fentanyl overdoses, or the hundreds of thousands of children and women who were trafficked over the southern border. And Joe Biden and your Democrat Party, how evil they are, never said anything about it.
On the Border Patrol, where over 70% of agents were off the line, changing diapers, making baby formula, making hospital runs, taking.
Yeah, think about that. Think about how demeaning that was for Border Patrol agents to play babysitter while they watched our country be invaded by our nation's enemies.
People at airports. Meanwhile, while that border was wide open, that's when the fentanyl came across that killed 250,000 Americans. That's when sex trafficking women and children went sky high. That's when no inspector terrorists crossed the border. 2.1 million, Charlie. 2.1 million known gotaways. People who crossed the border, got away. We don't know who they are, where they came from, where they're at now. And why didn't they take advantage of the giveaway program, turn themselves in the Border Patrol, get it flown to the city of their choice on taxpayer dime, get a free hotel room, 3 squares a day, free medical care? Yeah. That is the biggest national security vulnerability this country's ever had, and they remain quiet. So a few are waking up now, but the vast majority of them still are against Trump and securing the border.
Yeah. Well, guess what? Too bad, so sad. Sucks to be you. Rose DeLauro, who is a space alien, was trying to grill Markwayne Mullin and lie and filibuster, which is what Democrats do. They filibuster. They try to get a soundbite. And Markwayne Mullin was having none of it, because she's blaming him for 3,600 kids disappearing or whatever, without acknowledging the 400,000 or so that disappeared to be trafficked, murdered, raped, trafficked for labor, among other things. And the Democrats didn't give a rat's behind about it.
Sir, again, it is my time. 3,900 children were separated from their families.
450,000 kids were lost during the Biden administration. You didn't say a word about it.
Mr. Secretary, do not interrupt.
Don't you point your finger at me. Don't
I
be
will
a hypocrite.
point my finger at you.
Don't you be a hypocrite then. Then you be as you should be as upset about the 450,000 kids that were lost. You didn't say a word about it. For 4 years, you never said a word.
Mr. Secretary.
Could you put him in his place for
don't yell at
you
me.
should be put in your place.
Yeah, put your bony little finger, put it down. It looks like E.T.'s finger. You got 2 fingers and a thumb grabbing Reese's Pieces. My God. Here's Markwayne Mullin talking about what was taken from those children who were allowed to be trafficked for sex and labor by the hundreds of thousands.
What frustrates me the most is that this was preventable, and no one can argue that. This was 100% preventable. We have perpetrators that are doing the most horrific things to kids. And as a father to 6 and 3 beautiful girls, when you see this, there's evil in the world. Yeah. There's evil in the world. And we fed it. The Biden administration fed it for 4 years and took the innocent that's in my little girl's eyes, the innocence that's in our kids' eyes that we pray to God never has to deal with this, that innocent is permanently stolen.
I remember when Christmases were happening during the Biden administration, and one thing I thought about was the kids who were trafficked, to the little girls who were repeatedly raped by the clients of cartels. My God. I mean, of all the things, on top of all of the promoting transgender surgeries to make children mutilated eunuchs for life, how more evil can the Democrat Party become? And then they elect anti-Semite socialists in New York City. Socialist anti-Semites. That's what the Nazis were. They're in a death spiral to hell. Let them go. Defeat them. Crush them. End them. Done. Let the party destroy itself, retain both houses of Congress with larger majorities, and put the pedal to the metal on taking down these communist insurgents. There you go. And this includes deporting many of them, and certainly never allowing them to hold public office if they are insurrectionists who want to destroy our country. Screw ya. A couple weeks ago, my son was in town. My daughter was in town. My son was sleeping on the couch. My daughter was upstairs in the loft. And the air conditioning wasn't working. We had the air conditioning set at 70 or 72, and it was 80 degrees in the apartment. But I didn't notice it. And I mean this. I'm in bed. I'm sleeping on my ghost bed. I'm sleeping fine. And I got the covers on and everything. And I get up in the morning, and I walk out. I'm like, whoa, it's hot out here. But I didn't really notice it because the ghost bed sleeps so it keeps you cool when you sleep. I don't even know how to explain it. It just does. Even when you got the covers on, I never feel like, a lot of times I've been in under covers and you're sweating and you're this and you got to kick the covers off. I've never had to do that with my ghost bed. I don't know what they do. It's just ridiculously amazing. Ghost bed is the best dang mattress I've ever had in my life. Cooling tech built into every mattress, and it keeps you warm in the winter. It's crazy. Right now, you can save an extra 10% with financing. Some ghost beds come out to about $1 a day. Hello. But just go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Ghostbed.com/Carson. Get a ghost bed. I mean it. I've done videos online. If you want to do my social media search and go look, you'll see me there talking about my ghost bed. I love this thing. It arrives in a box. You open it up, you cut the plastic, and boing, it pops out. And it's a full-size, glorious, the one I have is a queen mattress. You don't need a box springs. You just put it on the frame, and it's freaking amazing. It is the best mattress ever. And the price is literally 25% of what an adjustable mattress that I had in Kansas City was. 25% of the cost. Unbelievable. Ghostbed.com/Carson. Ghostbed.com/Carson. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
defying the spread of the stupid every day. It's the Rob Carson Show.
If we are ever going to get back to the old America, that's got to be the Democrats' part of the bargain. Stop coming up with radically new and often terrible ideas, and then in the next breath insist there be no debate about any of it. That if you don't see it right away and go along, you're bad, stupid, and deplorable. Yeah. As if you were saying, duh, 2 + 2 = 5. Isn't that obvious? Yeah, it's obvious you can't add. You can't just say shit. Math is racist. Queers for Palestine. Looting is cool. Healthy at any weight. If the men's football team played the women's team, it would be a tie. You can't just say shit.
Yeah. And the Democrat Party is divided, a civil war. You've got James Tallarico believing that God is non-binary and there are 6 sexes. And then in New York City, you've got people who want America to die. They want Israel wiped off the face of the map, all the Jews killed. And, honestly, what the hell? They just don't learn, do they? They just need to be beaten. That's it. That's it. We got Farmer Dave in Delaware on the phone, and I actually heard that you can hear the chickens in the background. Dave, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing very well. I actually, your producer made me leave the chicken farm so you could hear me.
So let me ask you this real quick. So when you raise chickens commercially, you get the chicks in the spring, and then in the fall you dress them and you sell them, right?
It's about 7-week layout for the broiler birds, which we normally do, but we actually have roasters this time. That goes anywhere from 8 to 10 weeks. So they come out about 8 to 10 pounds.
So that's frying chickens versus roasting chickens.
Yes. The ones we normally do would probably go to, like, I don't know, Chick-fil-A and stuff, and Food Line for the breasts and stuff like that. But,
Gotcha. Well, I'm speaking from experience because every year my family, we raise 450 chickens. And then we dress them in the fall. We dress them ourselves. I call it the silence of the chickens. I couldn't eat chicken until I was 30 years old.
Yeah, I actually, you know what, and then my step-pop does the same thing. He worked in the inside of where they, they put them together and stuff, which I'm glad I don't do.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about what you want to talk about. You want to talk about the insanity of the Democrat Party.
Yeah, actually I did. And here I actually had a little bit of a smile on my face when all this stuff happened and these commies took a rollover in New York because in my head, I'm sitting there thinking, well, look, the Democrats did everything they could to make their party, go for the crazies, which, America has a lot of, apparently. And then now they all have sad faces because it actually worked against them. And everything they did and every step they took so that they could become the king, because that's actually what their party is trying to do rather than ours and take over every civilian's life in the world. And it turned around, and now all these Muslims get put into office because exactly what they planned and strategized backfired on them. And I almost had a little giggle to myself when I saw that.
Well, you know what, Dave, here's the thing. The Democrat Party is bedded down with all of this madness, all of this open borders madness, all of this transgendered madness, all of this COVID nonsense. They bedded down with all of it. And all of a sudden, now they're concerned the party has gone too far left. You know what? Tough bleep said the kitty. You brought this on yourself, and now you're trying to act like, oh, no, we're centrist. The Democrat Party is not centrist. Now the Democrat Party is split between radical left and socialist, communist, anti-Semite. And so they're screwed, man, as far as I'm concerned. And you know what I've been saying, David? I've been saying that the Democrat Party's doing a death spiral into hell. They just put the pedal to the metal on that, didn't they?
They sure did. And I'll tell you what, did you even hear the soundbite where I don't remember which politician it was, but it was a Democrat thing? Oh, no, yeah, we love capitalism. We love this and that. No. I'm like, now they're preaching what we've been preaching forever. Yeah,
there's no saving them. There's no saving them, Dave. There's no saving them, brother. I appreciate. Hey, by the way, I went up to Rehoboth. I went up to Rehoboth a couple weeks ago, and I must have stopped by 6 farmers markets. I love those farmers markets out there in the country, man. It's just one of the best dang things in the world.
I remember when you said, "Hey, look, me and you have talked a number of times through an email and stuff. So next time, maybe you're up here, maybe we can get together."
All right, Brian, get Dave's information and send it to me if you would, Brian, the producer. Dave, can you hold on? I want to get in touch with you. I want to come up and see the operation and all that, and maybe go check out. I love Delaware. I really do. It's Iowa meets the ocean. It's a very interesting place, and a lot of times, I'm a Midwestern. I always thought East Coast is all city and all of this, but you look at places like New Jersey, largely agrarian, a lot of dairy cattle out there. You've got New York, a lot of it's agrarian. You got Delaware, it's cornfield. Listen, you're driving along, it's flat as Southern Illinois, and there's cornfields and then bean fields and then wheat. They got winter wheat and then chicken. These chicken farrowing units, these things, and it's where they raise little chickens so you can have your Chick-fil-A. And then all of a sudden, and then there's a farmer's market, and then there's the beach, It's like, man, I tell you what, I would have never left the farm if I had the beach within a couple miles of the farm. It's spectacular. All right. And by the way, I want to say hi to our glorious affiliate station there in Rehoboth and Delmarva, which is WGMD. We love you guys out there. Great, great, great following in that area of the country. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Nah, I would have left the farm. I would have left the farm. All right, what am I going to talk next here? Hold on. Yeah, that's pretty fun. Hold on. Hi, kids. Who's getting an MRI? Round a pony. Have you ever had one? It's not fun. I mean, I'm not claustrophobic, so it didn't really bother me. It's thumping and it makes a lot of noise, and it's like living next to a construction zone with a bad nightclub. It's like boom, 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 wear some noise canceling headphones because it's not. It's just yuck. Hello, Shelby Inslee and Daggone Dave. What's up? There was somebody on there. Was there a troll on earlier on Rumble? Was there a troll? I thought I saw a troll on there earlier. I don't take kindly to trolls. I boot you right the hell off. Or was it on Facebook? I don't know. Hi, everybody watching on Facebook. Always wondered how many chickens, pigs, and cattle it takes to feed this country. Huge thanks to farmers, livestock, and veggies. Yeah, man, they feed America, and they do the dirty work. I have shoveled every kind of crap known to mankind, and I'm still doing that, doing political commentary. There you go. But yeah, I grew up on a farm. We raised everything, man. We raised everything. I didn't go to. I went to Burger King one time before my 16th birthday. Never had pizza delivery because we lived out in the country. Didn't MRIs for the claustrophobic like there are open MRIs. Yeah, I've heard about that. I got a regular one. It wasn't very fun. Did not like it one little bit. All righty, it's time for me to talk. Here we go. By the way, my TV show is called Rob Carson's What in the World. Rob Carson's What in the World is on Newsmax. Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. and Sunday night at 8:30 on Newsmax. Download the Newsmax app. Go to NewsmaxTV.com for listings. I did put a little, about 2-minute segment of the show up on social media so you can get a peek at it before the show. It's a very funny bit that I did on Kamala Harris and her word salad. So go to my social media at Rob Carson Show. I'm everywhere from TikTok to Instagram to Facebook to Twitter to LinkedIn to Rumble to what the hell else? Truth Social, Getter. I have 2.5 million followers on Truth Social. Holy heck. Holy heck. But it's called Rob Carson's What in the World. Donald Trump says it makes me the funniest man on TV. Radical Judge James Boasberg got slapped down so hard for targeting the Trump administration. An appeals court has issued a writ of mandamus against him because he's been unconstitutionally C-blocking Donald Trump's agenda.
Appeals court just told the chief judge for the D.C. federal court system to stop harassing the Trump administration.
Yeah.
That's really not an oversimplification.
He's just being a D word for Richard.
They accused this judge of abusing his discretion, of engaging in an improper, inappropriate investigation, of basically...
Yeah, these judges who jump in and say, we're not going to allow him to have the executive order to clean up the voter rolls, et cetera.
And the executive branch's ability to make decisions on national security issues. And this all stems from that incident that
They're just political operatives with TDS.
A lot of us remember when the Trump administration deported members of Tren de Aragua to El Salvador. A judge said, turn that plane around, or, you can't turn them over, bring them back. And then they didn't. And this judge...
And then Chris Van Hollen had a margarita with a member of MS-13.
Found them in criminal contempt for not complying with his order. This federal appeals court pretty much smacked him down and said, you were wrong to hold them in contempt. They didn't even violate your order. And now we're going to issue something called a writ of mandamus, which is an extraordinary remedy that is the court order.
Should be called a writ of mandamus, because that's what he is.
Another court to do something because the government has no other option.
Right.
There you go. That's good news. That's good news because these activist judges have been doing everything they can to hurt the Trump administration as they do the will of the people we asked them to do. We asked Donald Trump to do the things that he is doing, and we appreciate them. And these activist judges who hate Donald Trump, who have been appointed by Democrats, Barack Obama, of course, Joe Biden and whatnot, and all they do is exist to C-block whatever Donald Trump is doing, and this is a nice way to see him. And next, I'd like to see him impeached and removed from the bench. But that's kind of hard to do, believe it or not. It's kind of hard to do, unfortunately, for abusive judges like this. We've got another hour of the show ahead of us, and I've got a lot of things that I need to get to, including some incredible testimony and questioning about SNAP benefits by Brandon Gill. Absolutely brilliant. Going to get into the SAVE Act and how they're going to shut down the House of Representatives until the SAVE Act is passed. And by God, it better get done, John Thune. Get on it. Get on it. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. In a world of espionage, truth is a moving target, and every decision carries a dangerous consequence. This new mission explores what it means to live as a double agent, twice the lies, twice the risk. The lines between ally and enemy blur like never before, and survival depends on trusting no one. Starring Michael Fassbender, Jeffrey Wright, Jodie Turner-Smith, and Richard Gere. Don't miss The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
You don't need to live with aches and pains. Visit relieffactor.com today.
Hold it now. You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is hour number 3 of the Rob Carson Show on a Friday. Welcome to it. Please come inside. We have much to get to before the end of the program. I want to mention something real quick here. I'm going to be moving from my studio that I built here in Northern Virginia. And I'm going to be, for the very first time, I've been working with Newsmax for about 6 years, since Chris Ruddy discovered me after many years in broadcasting and gave me the chance of a lifetime. For those who haven't heard, I was selling cars and drinking myself to death when Chris Ruddy discovered me and gave me a shot. It started off with, initially he said, "Hey man, I've seen your podcast," and I called it, "What in the World is Going On with Rob Carson?" And it's just a little double entendre, like, what is going on with Rob Carson and what in the world is going on? And he says, "We're going to call it, you're going to call it Rob Carson's What in the World." And so he gave me this little half an hour slot to produce this show, and it's changed a lot since I started it. And then he gave me this thing called the Newsmax Daily. And it was a daily podcast. And one day, October the 18th, I think it was 2019, it was a Wednesday, 300,000 downloads. And Chris Ruddy said, "Here's what we're going to do. We're going to start putting you on radio stations, a radio show." And he gave me a radio show. This went for a number of years until about 2 years ago this December. We decided to stream the show, a video online, do the show live. That caused an earthquake. It went through the friggin' ceiling. We are adding radio stations. We are on 40 stations, but it's a tough row to hoe to get on places like, Skyview Net or Westwood One or Cumulus. They've already got people in the pipeline, and so it's a difficult thing to do. We're trying to get on more radio stations. But the stream is just remarkable. Millions of people watching this stream every single day, an average of an hour and 39 minutes every day. An average of an hour and 39 minutes. Watch my face. And I think the reason is because I'm talking to you. There's no way I can convey how connective this medium is. To talk to you directly and read your chats while the show is going on. And it's going to get much bigger and much better because I'm here to announce I'm going to be moving into the Newsmax building. After 6 years of working for Newsmax, they're inviting me in and creating a space for me. And this means so much because for, 5 years I did it in a spare bedroom in my house with a wife who absolutely hated my show. And, would leave the master bedroom, go into the spare bedroom, do the show, go to the gym, go to the grocery store. That was my life. And I rolled the dice and I said, when my wife divorced me unexpectedly, that I was guided here. I'm just telling you, I was guided here. You and I went through so much the last 10 years, particularly the last 6 with Joe Biden's presidency, then the attacks on Donald Trump, the attacks on our free speech. We did all of this. We went through all of this. I've never experienced anything like it in my life. It was like living in the Soviet Union, to have our speech censored, watch this open border happen, then watch them go after Donald Trump, try to kill him. I was guided here. I was drinking myself to death. I was asking God to let me die in my sleep so the family could get my life insurance. And on October 11th, 6 years ago, I had a little, a battle royale with Satan and God overnight. I've been hospitalized 3 times trying to quit drinking with DTs. Heart rate 170, blood pressure 190 over 120. I mean, could have stroked out, died so quick. In the morning of January the 11th of 2020, I couldn't remember the taste of alcohol. I still have a hard time sharing that story because it was so profound. It was so profound and unexpected. And I don't ever want to relay to those who suffer from addiction that it was easy. Because I had to really focus too. I mean, I didn't have any withdrawal symptoms. All the DTs and everything were gone the day after. I don't know what happened. I couldn't remember the taste of alcohol, and I had no physical withdrawals. No physical withdrawals. And I devoted my life to my wife. Her mother passed away. I said I was on her mother's deathbed. I said I'm going to make her happy the rest of her life. And somehow, after that, she decided she wanted to leave me. And I don't blame her because, I guess it was too little too late that I changed my life and turned it around. It was maybe too little too late. And for a year and a half, every night going to sleep, what am I going to do? Or a year, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then something out of nowhere said, you got to move to Washington, D.C. I used to live in D.C. area. And then on inauguration, 2025, when Donald Trump was inaugurated, I was invited by WGMD, by Mark Giuliani, to come and do a party with listeners. Now, I've been doing gatherings with WCBM, our anchor station. We've drawn anywhere from 400 to 2,000 people for events where I was speaking. And so I was invited to this inauguration event with WGMD, a little station in Rehoboth, and they expected 50 people. And then they had to go to 200 tickets. Then they had to go to 400 tickets. Then we did a live broadcast, and Mark Giuliani said, Rob, I have a studio in Old Town Alexandria. You could do your show there. I was guided here. How did this happen? I can't even explain. Everything that I've just told you is so beyond belief, right? I mean, think about it. And I get this studio, and I build this studio. It's a labor of love. Find out, unfortunately, they're selling the building and to tear it down. God has a dark sense of humor. And now I'm moving into the Newsmax building with my colleagues, with my brothers and sisters at Newsmax. And I love these people. These people are wonderful. They always treat me like a king when I go to New York City. I went to New York City for the very first time because of Newsmax, and I broadcast my radio show across the street and 3 or 4 floors up from where Rush Limbaugh started. Right there on Two-Penn Plaza, 17th floor. I was on the 24th floor, looking down to where Rush Limbaugh started. Rush Limbaugh came along in 1987. There was a place for him, the right time, right place, right skill set, right life experience. And it took off. I'm not saying certainly I could do that. But we are at a place right now in broadcasting where what I'm doing here with podcasting, with this live stream, with terrestrial radio, which is so valuable, and terrestrial radio is not going anywhere. You think radio's as strong as ever. The only thing that's changing is the delivery, because people are going to be listening less to the FM or AM frequency and more to the app. But local radio, there is no better way to connect people than local radio. There's no better way locally. There's nobody. You can read a newspaper. You can watch a newscast. A newscast is going to cover the weather. A newscast is going to cover sporting events and murders. That's it. And it's a half hour at 5:30, at 6 in the morning, at night. But nothing connects like radio. Nothing connects like it. And so in 2026, going into 2027, we have a confluence that's happening, and we're there. We've got new leadership at Newsmax. We got this guy named Ralph Renzi, who's amazing. I got Redneck MacGyver, my producer, who's been with me, who helped me get through all of this. And it's been a mother bleeper. There are times it has been a mother bleeper. Coming home after selling cars for 12 hours, peripheral neuropathy, so bad in my feet that I thought maybe just having my feet amputated would feel better. If I could go back, I wouldn't change a thing, but I wouldn't survive it. That's what I like to say. And now I'm moving into the Newsmax building. I wanted to share that story with you because I believe that I'm here to entertain, inform, and motivate you to do good. I've said that for a very long time. And to witness. I haven't had the most difficult life. I've had a difficult life. I've had a very difficult life. It took me 30 years, 35 years of broadcasting to get to this point. And I never stop working. I'm always thinking about the show. And it's because I consider this a blessing. We, you and I, are here in Washington, D.C. together. I'm the only national show here, radio and television, and we have just begun to scratch the surface. It's going to get so big and so good, so good. And you're here with me, and I'm here to share it with you. And by the 17th of this month, I'll be broadcasting from Newsmax facility for the very first time. I'm thrilled. Thank you, Chris Ruddy. Thank you, Newsmax. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
WCBM.
And a Trump rejoin here. A longer one.
Words of advice to maybe help you a little bit on your way. First, most important, never ever give up. Never give up. They ask me, how do you be successful, sir? Starts with never give up. I've learned a lot about life, but the one thing I've really learned is that perseverance, never quitting, never giving up is a big deal. No matter how terrible the storm, no matter how difficult the mission, never surrender.
Wow. It's true, man. All right. So I wanted to set up a new song parody from Jim Gossett because he's brilliant, by the way. And it's the Democrat Party is, I mean, honestly, but they had, James Tallarico and, of course, this guy, Plattner in Maine. And, I mean, they're just, but here is James, where's Tallarico? Here's James Tallarico. He's a soy boy of questionable sexuality. Yeah, totally. Dear God, are you kidding me? In Texas. Hold on. Let me play it here. Hold on one second. Here it is right here.
Did they teach you in Sunday school that Jesus Christ himself was a radical feminist? The American flag is such a complicated symbol for most of us. God is non-binary.
You can't call yourself a Christian and reject the stranger seeking asylum at our southern border.
Our trans community needs abortion care too. Modern science obviously recognizes that there are many more than two biological sexes.
Yeah, I mean, he's insane. And by the way, he's behind Ken Paxton by 1 point now, and it's not even close to November yet. Plattner had a Nazi tattoo, a kick profile, which is a hookup site for, which is a magnet for pedophiles. He admitted, slipped, and said that he's been treated for STDs at Planned Parenthood. He said that earlier this week. And the Democrat Party is doing its level best. And I mentioned on my TV show, Rob Carson's What the World. They are stepping around him like you would if you're walking barefoot in a backyard of a doggy daycare. That's what they're trying to do with Graham Plattner, because it's very clear he had a Totenkopf Nazi SS tattoo. Had a Totenkopf Nazi SS tattoo on his chest. He knew exactly what it was. He has been accused of violence against women, among other things. He locked a woman in a room, held her against his will, and a host of other things. And Jim Gossett did this about him on the Rob Carson Show.
Plattner loves Hitler, he told us so.
Yeah, he had a tattoo, it's a Totenkopf, yeah.
Hate you if you are a Jew.
Yeah, so do the guys in New York who just were elected.
For women, he has zero respect.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
He isn't someone that you should elect.
He's not going to get elected.
Cheats on his wife, it's a proven fact.
He gets a kick out of it.
When he got caught, tried to lie.
He's a scumbag.
Plattner's in trouble, he must be stopped.
Jim Gossett, holy crud.
Hitler, he worships that guy.
Wow, that is good.
Plattner loves Hitler and Nazi things. He is an anti-Semite.
Yeah.
Plattner loves Hitler with all his heart.
Wow.
Defeating him is what's right.
There you go, Jim Gossett. Holy cow. I hadn't even heard that. He just sent it to me today. I'm like, yeah, I'll run it. Come on, I don't need to question Jim Gossett. He's a freaking genius. Patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. Help a brother out. Give him $10 a month, $20 a month. He's going to send you 2 parodies every darn day. Every darn day. Brandon Gill yesterday eviscerated this Doge in a subcommittee hearing, Gina Plato-Nino, on the abuse of supplemental nutrition assistance program for junk food and all this. Of course, a judge said, "Oh, you can buy the junk food even though kids are, in fourth grade with type 2 diabetes." And he decided to confront this woman on sugary sodas and whether they should be covered, and he shredded her like cheddar.
Got a couple questions.
So good.
For you. Yeah. Should SNAP dollars be spent on sodas?
The purpose of the SNAPs program is to provide families to have food and beverages.
Should it be spent on sugary sodas?
I am happy to talk about hunger and nutrition, but not dictate what Americans should or should not eat or may have access to.
I'm asking if tax dollars should be used to pay for sodas.
Taxpayers' money should be utilized to ensure that individuals have access to the food that they need to survive or may be accessible to them.
Do they need sugary sodas to survive?
Some of them do, who do have low blood issues, who may
Is that
have
right?
have kidney issues.
You think they need Coca-Cola to survive?
Sure.
Do you think that's the most appropriate use of our tax dollars?
I am not a physician, but medical records and expertise
You were
do show
just
that in some
citing the health needs, apparently, of the American people.
God, so cool.
So do the American people need Coca-Cola to survive?
I did not say that. I said then.
I'm asking you.
Yeah.
I'm giving you the opportunity to say yes or no.
I will not answer for individuals and their choices.
You think that there are some Americans who need Coca-Cola to survive? Is that your testimony?
I am happy to talk about the food and nutrition
You just don't
needs
know.
that individuals have.
You just don't know. I think most people can rationally say that you don't need Coca-Cola to survive. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree that we have a hunger crisis and that we need to address
shut
it,
up.
but ensuring that individuals have the food
We
resources
don't have
that
a
they need.
freaking hunger crisis, for God's sake. We have the fattest poor people in the entire stinking world. Here's more.
Quit proving that.
Do you need data to determine whether drinking soda is healthy?
I think
I'm sorry. It's a serious question. Is there some? Do you believe that perhaps drinking sodas every day is healthy?
The worst health outcome is hunger. When the individuals don't have the resources.
Do you satiate hunger with Coca-Cola?
Only place in the world where a sign of poverty is obesity. That's America.
I did not say that.
But you said that the worst health outcome is hunger, and I'm asking you about sugary sodas.
And I'm focusing on the nutrition needs and making sure that children have the resources.
Is your organization funded by soft drink makers?
I am not in charge of development, but no.
It's not. Okay. Is your organization funded by organizations that make money from food stamps? Organizations who profit off of food stamps fund your organization?
Yeah, like who?
Or businesses?
I mean, I can't comment to that. Happy to talk about the resources that need it.
Does General Mills fund your organization?
I don't have access to that information.
I do. It's right here. They do fund your organization. Do they profit off of food stamps?
Retailers are the major beneficiaries.
You think that that's a conflict of interest?
Yeah, the retailers, of course, but also the manufacturers, you doofus, because they have to sell to the retailers. Oh, man, that's just wonderful. I almost wanted some popcorn on the side there and a little soda to watch. Maybe just a Diet Coke, actually. Let's take a break and come back. From HollywoodandToto.com, Christian Toto coming up. Don't go anywhere.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. In a world of espionage, truth is a moving target and every decision carries a dangerous consequence. This new mission explores what it means to live as a double agent, twice the lies, twice the risk. The lines between ally and enemy blur like never before, and survival depends on trusting no one. Starring Michael Fassbender, Jeffrey Wright, Jodie Turner-Smith, and Richard Gere. Don't miss The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Deported.
Deported. Deported. Get him out. Ready? Are you ready? Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Get the hell out of here.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson for Ghost Bed. I love my Ghost Bed. Do you really want another summer like last summer, barely sleeping because you were too hot all night? People blame summer heat for bad sleep when it really may be their mattress trapping heat. And if you're already sleep hot, summer only makes it worse. That's exactly why I switched to Ghost Bed. Ghost Bed keeps you cool all night. No waking up sweaty, tossing and turning, or throwing the covers off at 2 a.m. Cooling tech is built into every mattress. It's not some expensive upgrade you have to pay extra for. Hot sleepers are some of Ghost Bed's happiest customers. Read the reviews. Incredible support. Less stiffness, deeper sleep, more rested mornings. Ghost Bed gives you 101 nights to try it at home. You can sleep on it all summer long and feel the difference yourself. How many more summers are you going to waste on bad sleep? Ghost Bed is offering my audience an extra 10% off. With financing, some Ghost Beds come out to around $1 a day. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use the promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson. Promo code Carson.
Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily Podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
For 250 years, Americans have believed in one powerful idea, that we were meant to live free. Free to work hard, free to move, free to enjoy life without being held back. But if everyday aches and pains are slowing you down, might be time to declare your independence from pain. I take Relief Factor. There's a reason why at my age I'm able to crush it at the gym and ride 30 miles on a mountain bike on Saturday mornings. Relief Factor. It's 100% drug-free, research-based formula designed to help your body fight inflammation, one of the root causes of pain. It's not a quick fix or a temporary mask. It works from inside out at the source. Relief Factor was created so people could get back to living life on their terms, walking, working, exercising, enjoying the moments that matter. This year, as we celebrate 250 years of American independence, take a stand for your own freedom. To commemorate, they're offering a special patriotic price, just $17.76. Yeah, your $17.76 3-week quick start is ready for you. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4-RELIEF. ReliefFactor.com or 800-4-RELIEF.
The truth is this. You are all being used.
The vigilante citizen is delivering a brand of justice that some believe the authorities have failed to provide, targeting both criminals and those in power accused of allowing crime to flourish unchecked.
There's been a lot said about me, so I thought you should hear directly from me. I'm here to help you take that control.
That is a trailer for Citizen Vigilante. It's Army Hammer as an American targeting violent migrants across Europe. And it has been banned in Germany, so Elon Musk basically put it up on Twitter so you can watch it on Twitter. Christian Toto, HollywoodandToto.com. How are you on this glorious Friday?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
I love revenge flicks, man. I love the Equalizer series. I've seen every one of the Denzel Washington Equalizer movies, 1, 2, 3. I've seen at least 10 times a piece. I just love this stuff.
It's, that's a really good franchise. We don't talk about it enough. It's terrific. It's consistently good too.
It really is. But this one is like I said, Elon Musk has decided to put it up online. I'm going to watch it this weekend. Have you heard anything about it? How good it is or anything? Because it looks pretty damn good.
I've seen it. I've interviewed the film's director, Uwe Boll, who is known for making very bad movies.
Uh-oh. Oh, no, Christian, don't say this. The trailer makes it look so good.
On the upside,
yes.
The movie is subversive.
Okay.
It's necessary. It's something that no one else would do. But on the bad side, it's not a very good movie. It has got tons and tons of flaws.
That's like telling your kid after losing a baseball game, maybe baseball is not your sport.
Well, this director keeps on making films, so God bless him. He's got a genuine love for cinema, but the skills don't quite match up. Yeah, I wasn't enamored with it. It's out there for free, and no one else is telling the story. No one else is sounding the alarm, and I think he deserves a lot of credit for that. But I can't. As a film critic, I can't tell you it's a great movie or a good movie. It ain't. It just ain't.
It's like no smiley face on their paper from teacher Christian over here. By the way, I did finish watching Widow's Bay, and I think it's friggin' spectacular. I know you were kind of like, yeah. I don't know what you like horror stuff though. And so I get really, really scared by little things but so to you it was probably like, But I thought it was.
I'm going to watch more of it this weekend for sure. I'm going to try.
I finished the season. I thought it ended on a very high note. It was, oh my God, really, really good. You wrote up a piece here about Daily Wire's run, hide, fight, infidels, tease is pure fire. What's this all about, man?
I heard about it. I know that the film stars Jonathan Majors, who's an actor who was canceled, and he behaved badly. He was accused of treating his girlfriend physically, and I think there was I forget the exact details of the conviction, but it's not the kind of thing where he said something untoward and they canceled him. He was up to no good, allegedly. So, but he's a star. But the bigger issue is that this is a movie about a very kind of liberal university, and there are radical Islamic terrorists who take over, try to make it a Islamic sort of center, and some Red Dawn-esque students fight back. I mean, it sounds amazing. It certainly is intriguing. And the person behind it did this movie called Run, Hide, Fight from, I think, 2020. That was a very good movie. And if you missed that, it was about a teenage girl who's going to high school, and there's a school shooting in progress, and she decides to fight back and take out the bad guys.
I love that.
Now, that was so radioactive that no distributor wanted to touch it, so it ended up with the Daily Wire. So the same guy who did that movie is doing this. I don't know anything more about it, but go watch that teaser trailer. It's woof.
Okay, I'm going to watch it. And Daily Wire, I had heard they're looking to go public. They're wanting to raise, I think, $100 million. I love Daily Wire. We got Tony Kinnett from the Daily Wire on. We have other people from Daily Wire. And I think it's pretty cool that they're venturing into this. I think, it being a site you generally regard as one for political punditry, to be content creators in such fashion is kind of cool.
Yeah, they've been doing some movies on and off. I wish it was more consistent.
Yeah.
Listen, it's very expensive to kind of go in this direction. But they make good films. I mean, Am I Racist? What is a Woman? Terror in the Prairie. There are some good quality productions. I just keep
Yeah, What is a Woman? That was Matt Walsh, right?
Yeah.
It was really good. Really, dude, really good. And he did it with like tongue-in-cheek, deadpan. Really, really, really good. Young Washington, they had the big red carpet debut this week. It just looks darn good, Christian. How is Young Washington?
It's darn good. It comes out July 3rd, so it's coming soon. Boy,
yes.
I was very impressed. Listen, you've got a couple of big names in smaller roles, Ben Kingsley, Kelsey Grammer. They work beautifully here. But this is a movie with stirring action scenes. You really get to know George Washington, a young man, his flaws, his hubris, the way he grew, the way he used some of the early defeats. It's terrific. I'm super happy to share the good news. I hope it does very well. And by golly, it's the kind of movie we should have our birthday, on the nation's birthday, on the 250th birthday.
Yeah.
It's perfect for that. So I think people can really dig it.
The thing that listen, I'm a student of history to some degree, but I didn't know everything. And I didn't realize or at least I'd been reminded that George Washington really, really wanted to be a principal in the British Army, but he couldn't because he was not born there. And they rejected him, and that was one of the onus to fight the British. It was like, okay, screw me, how about screw you?
And also, what he survived in an early battle, I've just recently read about it, but the movie shows it really dramatically. I'll say no more, but he shouldn't have lived long enough to be the father of any country.
Yeah.
He really missed. I mean, it's amazing what he went through, and I believe it's historically accurate. So
I can't wait to see
it's
it.
a really good movie.
I'm thinking about going to see that new Spielberg movie, by the way, in theaters this weekend. And my son says it's reminiscent of classic Spielberg. You and I were in high school or junior high when E.T. came out, and we went to the theater and saw this, and Indiana Jones and all this, and you're like, wow, and you left floating on a cloud, like, wow, what did I just experience? My son said it's reminiscent of that.
I respectfully disagree
with
your great son.
No!
You go see it. We'll come back next week.
You know what? Captain Buzzkill. That's the end of a movie about you called Captain Buzzkill. I swear to God, Christian Toto. This from the Hollywood Reporter. Think about how much things have changed. TV viewing ranked by company. Number one. What do you suppose it is? YouTube. YouTube, dude. YouTube. I watch Newsmax on YouTube TV. I go YouTube TV and I watch Newsmax and I switch back and forth and I watch all sorts of stuff there. I have a bunch of it's changed how I watch it. Disney, Next, NBC, Universal, Paramount, Netflix, Fox, Warner Brothers, Amazon, Roku. It's wild how the way people get entertained has changed.
So dramatically. I mean, listen, there are days, maybe weeks that go by where I don't watch traditional TV.
No, I never watch the networks.
That would be me.
I never watch the networks. I never watch. There's nothing to watch on the networks. The only thing that the networks are good for is appointment watching for like sports.
Yeah, sports is great. And by the way, I pay, I think, around $14 or so a month for YouTube without commercials. Don't tell YouTube. I'd pay double that. It's the best money you'll ever spend.
Well, I'm going to, Captain Buzzkill, because I want him to get for ruining my movies this week. Charge him 5 times as much. His name's Christian Toto. All right, just look him up. You'll figure it out. Christian, thanks for being on the show. Where can people find your awesome podcast, man?
Just go to YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, the Hollywood in Toto podcast.
All right, thanks, bud. We'll talk to you again soon. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Status Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor.
Come on.
Would I launch strikes in Mexico to stop drugs? It's okay with me. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. How, how, how.
Big Head Todd and the Monsters covering John Lee Hooker's classic Boom, Boom. Love it, love it, love it. One of the sound bites of the week, Byron Donalds calling out the Senate for not passing the SAVE Act.
Sucks. I'm just going to come out and say it. They suck. This is not hard. 80% of the American people want the Save America Act to pass. Not 80% of Republicans, 80% of the American people. And the only organization that refused to act is the United States Senate. Yep. Everybody else is saying, this is common sense. We should do common sense things. Let's make sure only Americans are voting in our elections. Makes sense, right?
Yep.
Let's protect the franchise of the American people.
Yep.
Let's make sure that people who are sent to Washington are being voted on by Americans.
People have died in battle to preserve our rights, and one of the most sacred is the right to representation. That is what the Revolutionary War was all about.
I'm sorry. They have a responsibility to open up the Senate floor and debate this issue in front of the American people.
Damn right.
I agree with Chairman Harris 1,000%. I want to hear what Chuck Schumer has to say on the floor in full debate about why he opposes this measure. I want to hear what Elizabeth Warren has to say about why she would oppose this measure. I want her to tell the people of Massachusetts why she believes that the people of Massachusetts should not have to show a photo ID in order to vote in a federal election in the United States.
The only way to prove your citizenship is with identification. There's no blood test. And we're getting bloody sick and damn tired of it. Get it done. What's it going to, is it going to take 1 million of us on the National Mall camping out? What's it going to take, John Thune? You better get it together, son, because you're already done. You're already done. The turkey thermometer just hasn't popped out yet. But it's going to in 2 years. And you're going to be done. Buy some gold, put some silver in your pocket. Where are you going to come up with the money? I mean, things are expensive right now. How about that 401k? I did that. I said, you know, I can sit here and watch this thing idle along without any growth, or I can, you know, after my wife decided we did, you know, weren't going to be together anymore, I said, I'm going to go with Birch Gold. I've been talking about Birch Gold. I'm going to invest in precious metals with Birch Gold. And I said, all gold, just take it all, gold, and let it ride. And I'm going to let it ride for 10 years. You know why? Because 10 years ago, gold was only $1,200. Went up to $5,600 in January. Yeah. Riding a little over $4,000 right now, you know, because the market has a way of kind of leveling out. There was a big sell-off back in January when it was $5,600. This is to be expected. And I'm going to let it ride. Right now, with Birch Gold, they're giving you a special America 250 1-ounce silver round for every $10,000 you purchase by July the 10th. Okay? So there you go. Text Rob to 989898 to take advantage of free America 250 silver with a qualifying purchase before July 10th. Again, text Rob to the number 989898 today, and we'll party in 10 years. How's that sound? Does that sound like a good idea? We'll have a little party 10 years from now. Thank you very much. Just a lot of nonsense with regard to the SAVE Act. Here is, this is Representative Diana Hirschberger talking to the members of the Senate who aren't getting this done and saying they need to grow a pair.
It's incumbent upon us as Republicans to do the right thing. It's incumbent upon us as Republicans to do the right thing for the sake of America's future. And I want to speak directly to every senator blocking the Save America Act. I don't care about your political future, and I don't care about your fundraising schedule. You took an oath to the American people, not to yourself. Legal American citizens are losing control of their own country, and they are letting it happen. So grow a set, Senate. Do what the House has already done and what the American people expect from us, and pass the Save America Act.
I've never felt so betrayed by my country and helpless and angry as I was on the night, election night in 2020, when Donald Trump was way out in front and all of a sudden they just stopped counting the votes in all the battleground states. It had never happened before. And they said there was a water main break in Atlanta. There was no water main break, but nobody investigated that lie. And the next day, all of these ballots, millions of ballots came in almost exclusively for Joe Biden. And my Facebook page was gone, and my ability to say, hey, there's something wrong with the election was taken away. I believe my vote was stolen in 2020. Why the hell do I pay taxes? If my vote doesn't mean anything, if my vote is taken from me, why in the hell am I paying taxes? Ridiculous. Here is Representative Andy Harris from the great state of Maryland. He's a good guy.
The president did the right thing this week. The president knows that with the Biden 10 to 20 million people who crossed the border during the last administration, probably half of them are voting age.
Yeah.
And if you listen carefully to what the Democrat Socialists of America say, they want everybody to vote.
Yeah, they do.
But the American people don't agree.
Nope.
The American people, you can poll anywhere in this country.
Yep.
You can poll Democrats, Republicans, Independents, blacks, whites, Hispanics. Everybody agrees that American citizens should be the only ones voting in federal elections. That's all this does. And it says, oh, by the way, you should actually have to show a voter ID.
Now, I said when the last election happened, I said that 80% of us believe the country was headed in the wrong direction. 80% of us can come together to save her. Right now, 80% of the American people want voter ID. And the only people who are stopping it are the people on frickin' Capitol Hill. And they better get it. They better get it together. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Hey guys, it's Rob. Hello, kids. Hello, Gary McGovern. What happened in the Fort Knox visit? Yeah, I'd like to know too. Makes you kind of wonder if there is anything there. Right? Makes you kind of wonder. I don't know. Tom K., have a glorious weekend. DJ team needs to bomb Iran. 100%, Grandma. 100%, Dookie Bear. What's going on? Over our next, Sandra Pascal. Hello, congratulations, Newsmax is the best. God bless you, and he does have a plan. Thank you, Sandra. You just made my day. GI says the communists are attacking. Well, they are, yeah, but we're going to beat them back. We've fought and many have died to protect us and keep us the representative republic that was envisioned by the founders, and we are not effing going to let communists take over. We will drive them from our shores. We will defeat them in any way, shape, or form, starting at the ballot box. And if that doesn't work, we won't be ruled. I'll just put it that way. Oh, I guess I had another second to talk. Hello, Tom K. Scarecrow. Watch my TV show this weekend, will ya? William Ratcliffe. Good to see you there. You were asking about the Fort Knox visit. Yeah, I'd like to know, too. Yeah, Jamie, it was rigged. Duh. You know I know this? Because I'm not stupid. There you go. Here we go.
You have 3 minutes here.
Come on, Pete. Stop moving. Got to take me there. I'm going to head down to the National Mall this weekend and see the reflecting pool again and go to the National State Fair and ride the Ferris wheel and all of that. I'm going to take it in, baby. I hope they have funnel cakes down there. I hope they have some good fair food down there, because I want to do that. I want to enjoy that. By the way, here's one of the people who are fixing the reflecting pool, which has been vandalized, by the way. A good share of the floor of the reflecting pool was carved with knives. They had the tops of fence posts thrown into it. The Democrat Party is sick. The people who are members of it in good standing, who are very left of center, should be ashamed of themselves. But here is the one of the engineers talking about how they're cleaning it up. And by the way, it's back to all of its glory and blue.
We came in to remediate the algae, which has been a long time problem. What the technology does is we use an ozone treatment technology. Yep. So it takes regular O2, we turn it into O3, it gets pumped into the pool. That ozone, they're in the little nanobubbles that you've probably heard about.
Yep.
Because they're in nanobubbles, those go throughout the whole water column, and as they burst, which is natural, it kills the algae, and then the sediment floats to the bottom. So it leaves behind crystal clear water with only oxygen as the byproduct. So you're actually adding oxygen to the water, which is great. But so that's why you can see the bottom of the pool really well, and what you see.
Yeah, I mentioned this when I went to the and broadcast live on Instagram a couple weeks ago from the pool. I noticed the bubbles coming up, and I knew the aeration was a process that you cleanse water without using chemicals, and it's going to be beautiful. I'm going to do my level best to share it on social media this weekend. Go to all of my social media at Rob Carson Show. I'll be sharing. You'll also see a sneak peek of my TV show, a couple minutes on all of my social media at Rob Carson Show, Twitter, Facebook, Truth, Getter, LinkedIn, everywhere. Dear Lord, and have TikTok, Instagram, all of it. Follow me there if you wouldn't mind, and then watch my TV show Saturday at 3 in the afternoon. I know it's a strange place for a comedy show, but then again on Sunday night at 8:30, following Dr. Michael Savage. He is a big fan of my TV show as well. He and President Trump, by the way. So I appreciate you very much being with me this week, and I hope you're enjoying the show. And again, in a couple weeks, I'm going to be moving into the Newsmax studio. I couldn't be more thrilled than I am. So it's going to be amazing. Overwhelm the left with joy and faith and patriotism. It's happening. It's happening. The Democrat Party is in a civil war, and we are coming together to save our country as founded. There you go. God bless America as founded. You crazy people. Donald Trump, an awesome president, our military. And until Monday, do not catch the stupid. I'll see you then.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.